It's wonderful to connect with you all this evening, or maybe it's morning, or whenever you might be watching this. Thank you for doing that, and we're really happy to be with you. We have a great show tonight. My name is Amanda Ree. I'm the founder of Sama Dog, a well-being organization that's bringing the teachings of mind, body, spirit to dog and human alike. So it's all about that human canine bond, and that's what the show is ultimately all about as well. It's all about the healing lessons of rescue dogs and their humans. So today we have a very special guest, davidji, a world-renowned meditation teacher, and his also world-renowned meditation student, Peaches the Buddha Princess, a fantastic little Morkie. So she will be here with us in just a few moments. So we'll go ahead and kick it off as we always do with some rescue stories of tales from around the world. But first, I'll just ask all of you that as you're tuning on, please let us know that you're here. Share this out there. We'd love to be able to spread this message around the world. We'll get into some really great content tonight and some conversation. We're going to be talking, since he's a meditation instructor, our special guest, we will be talking about stress and how we deal with it and how our pets can really help us to navigate that part of our lives even more easily. And really, 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 really well. They're so good at that. They're so peaceful in their essence. And I know that all of you watching this have surely experienced that as well. And that's why you love these little canine characters so much, like we do. So let me kick it off with some stories. So our first story, our first rescue tale, is about Marika and Marika Hamilton, her daughter and her dog named Stella. So Marika was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. This was a couple years ago, and through that journey of healing, of course, was very, very difficult, as these terrible, healing journeys can be. And it actually really drove her down into the dumps, and it broke apart her family. And after she did make it through, she went into remission, she still was deeply depressed, and she decided to adopt a dog. So she went to the shelter and found this beautiful dog named Stella. This is Stella and her daughter, and Marika, and they said that as they fell in love with Stella the pit bull, they also renewed the love in their family. So it was just so beautiful. And as they spent more time together and the whole family healed, they also saw that Stella had a very specific dharma, as they would say in the yogic tradition, a purpose of her own. And that was to continue to help others and to help them heal like she did for her family. So they wrote a book called The Incredible Stella Composition Book, if you'd like to check it out. And now they go around brightening hearts and lives in various healing institutions, organizations, hospitals, and they promote pet adoption everywhere they go. So here's one more picture of Stella. I love this one. Had to share this one with her glasses on. So cute, isn't she? So if you want to check her out, as always, I will post links below. But that's Stella the pit bull, and it's the name, her page names, and their Facebook is called Incredible Stella, the Bull at the end, because she's a pit bull. Okay, so we're moving on to our next story. This is a story that's just very current right now with the Olympics happening. This is kind of a behind the scenes of the Olympics. Of course, it's a beautiful time and the games are always so unifying. But yet, as often has happened in the past, the area in which the games are has some stories to tell. So in the animal world, and especially in the dog rescue world, South Korea is well known for the dog meat trade. Very common in Asia, as some of you may know. And just in South Korea alone, they kill 25 million dogs a year for meat. So they put it in all their foods, and they have this folklore of why they do that. There's this misunderstanding of it given vitality, and it's one of those kinds of things. So it's not only the killing of the dogs, of course, that's deep in our hearts, and that is very difficult to accept. However, every country has its inhumane practices to animals, but it's the way in which they kill these animals, because in these dogs and cats, because they believe that the torture helps helps the meat. It's this weird kind of misunderstanding of the culture with no research behind any of this. So all of that to say that there's a Canadian figure skater who's very well known. She's in the Olympics right now. She's competing, hoping for gold. Her name is Megan Dumal. And she has brought a lot of attention and awareness to this because she actually adopted a dog from South Korea, from the dog meat trade, rescued from there, and now she's bringing attention to this and really bringing a lot of media awareness and at least shining a light on those practices. So if you'd like to sign a petition, share the word. A lot of people don't know these practices are happening, or if you'd like to learn more, there's a few organizations that are at the front lines of this. There's many, but here's just a few, and I'll post them below, is Animal Hope and Wellness organization out of Los Angeles, Mark Ching's organization. Perhaps you're familiar. Another one is Jindo Love. Our very good friend Dirk has adopted many Jindos. Those are the type of dogs that are usually used in the dog meat trade. They have all kinds. They really involve all kinds of dogs, all breeds of dogs, but Jindo is a specific breed. And our friend Dirk has adopted many of them. They're beautiful, intelligent, bright, lovely, amazing dogs. And then lastly, the Soy Foundation is another wonderful organization based in Asia, and it's SOI, Soy Dog Foundation. So, just bringing awareness to it is key, and I'm very grateful for the Olympian figure skater Megan for doing that. So that's a little bit about that story. Oh, I didn't show you Megan and her adopted dog. And this dog is also called Stella. So it's a knight. So then we have another beautiful duo here. Oh, pardon me. This dog is not named Stella. The dog that Megan adopted is Molly. Megan adopted the dog Molly. This is the dog Stella. I knew we had two Stellas tonight. So this is a wonderful story that I will continue to do each time now as we have our kicking it off with 3 rescue stories. One of them will be about one of you all and one of our viewers, one of our community members, and your story with your rescue dog. So please put your comments below if you'd like me to share a little bit about your story next time. I might even just reach out and ask you a few more questions, get some pics. So this is from one of our wonderful viewers, Kate, and this is Stella on her lap, and they are quite the duo. So Kate, after her husband went through a terribly difficult time, ailing toward, of course, the end of his life, those last 4 years, very, very difficult. He was dealing with some neurological major issues that did eventually bring him to passing. So after she was his caretaker for 4 years, Kate was really down and out. And so she decided, as our other story did, because dogs can brighten our lives so beautifully and in such a special way, she decided to go to the Humane Society of Tahoe, Truckee, and pick out a new dog. She went there with an agenda to actually try to get a certain kind of dog. She actually wanted to help with the dog meat trade. That is a location that apparently will adopt a lot of dogs in. But she ended up finding Stella, and Stella was there with her little puppies, and she considered adopting a puppy, but decided to go with Mama, because they're always a little bit more difficult to adopt out, and they were a match made in heaven. And as I was speaking to Kate about the story, she said, please just be sure to tell them this, that I didn't save Stella. Stella definitely saved me. She is the balm for my broken heart. She dispels all negativity and any darkness that rises up, because all she knows and exhibits is true joy. Isn't that beautiful? So thank you to our loyal followers, Kate and Stella. I hope you're on with us tonight. And if you're not, hopefully you'll be watching our rerun. But we love being able to show you two and your beautiful partnership to the world. So those are our 3 rescue stories for the night. Now we will segue into our next section, which is our interview with davidji. So davidji is a top-selling author, internationally well-known meditation teacher. He has 3 wonderful books, one of which is his newest release, this one right here, called Sacred Powers: The 5 Secrets to Awakening Transformation. He travels all around the world doing lectures. He's got podcasts. He's got a radio show on Hay House Radio. He, and more personally, has been a dear friend of mine, a teacher to me, a mentor to me for over 13 years now. And he, of course, one of the things that ties our hearts together so deeply is that we both are madly in love with dogs. And so he is here with his beloved little princess. Peaches, the Buddha princess, is her formal name. We will post her links below and her pages below so you can start to follow her because she's extremely engaging and fantastic, as is he. So please join me in welcoming David G to our show.
Woo-hoo!
Welcome, David G. Welcome, Peaches, the Buddha Princess.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I love rescue dogs.
Renee, can you tilt our screen just a
Yes.
little bit? Thank you.
Sure.
So,
Hi.
hi. Welcome, guys. Hello, Peaches. How are you doing? Good to see you, my sweet. So, David G., thanks for being here, first of all.
Thanks for inviting us. I love this special location. This is unbelievable. You have your dogs hanging out here, and Graham, and your little meditating dog. So, truly, I love the energy.
We're ready to go and have like total dog pod around us, a good dog energy with all of them in every room around our whole perimeter.
Hashtag dog vibes.
Dog vibes everywhere. So let's kick it off by talking about Peaches, how the two of you met. As you know, this is all about healing lessons from rescue dogs and their humans. So tell us your tale.
Well, this is Peaches, the Buddha Princess. And back in 2009, my sister called me up and said she had found a dog on the side of the 405 up in LA. And if you know the 405, it's about maybe 12 lanes of traffic going in two directions. And so they picked that dog up, brought it to a vet, and the vet said, "Oh, it's a white poodle. And thank you for your generous, drop off." And so she called me, and I said, "Oh my God, I'll take her." She goes, "You haven't even seen her." I said, "I'll take her, but I have to go away for a month. So if you could just get on the list, pick her up in 3 days, and when I come back in a month, I'll reach out to you." So this was 2009. When I came back 30 days later, I called my sister, and I said, "So, did you ever get that dog?" And she said, "Yes, we have Snickerdoodle." And I went, "Oh." And she goes, "And we've fallen in love with her, so if you don't pick her up right now, we're going to keep her." So I raced up to LA.
Because she's so adorable. Who wouldn't want to keep her forever? Look at that little nose.
And she's not a poodle. She's a Morkie. She's a mindful Morkie, a Maltese Yorkie. And so within a week of us being together, that was July 23rd, so that's our official birthday. Within a week of us being together, we were sitting on the beach, and because we live in Carlsbad, California, the sweet spot of the universe. And we're sitting on the beach at sunrise. We just meditated together, and she was running around digging in the sand. And some guy runs by and goes, "Oh my God, you guys should enter the Cardiff by the Sea Dog Days of Summer Pet Lookalike Contest." And I was like, "When is it?" He goes, "It's today at 10 o'clock. So I said, "Whatever." And we ended up going, and we won. We beat out 18 other contestants. I didn't have any particular skills, and neither did she.
Nor needing a costume.
Right.
Look
Other
at this.
contestants had dyed their
Look at
hair
them.
and created outfits and done all sorts of stuff. And we won. We won a Frisbee, a bag of kibble, a little pet carrying case, because when I got her, she was only about 4.5 pounds.
Wow, really?
And when they found her on the side of the road, she was like 3.5 pounds. And she's
Oh my
9
gosh.
pounds now. She's been 9 pounds most of her adult life.
Wow. And she's very skinny
She's
still.
very svelte.
Yeah.
She's
got
very,
an amazing physique.
and she's not a picky eater either.
Mm.
But after that, we
But wait, I have to interrupt you because
yes.
do you remember my favorite part of this story about you guys winning that contest is that I came to the Dog Days of Summer just as a, participant to hang out, see what it's all about. And I look up at the stage and there's David G and Peaches. And he's got Peaches in one hand and his prize in the other. And he's like soaking in his big moment of fame.
That was my greatest win ever in my life.
I loved it. I said, hey, I know those celebrities.
And we planned on traveling the world and winning all the pet lookalike contests, but I figured, how many bags of kibble, frisbees, tennis balls, and carrying cases can you have?
Yeah.
So we retired
I don't know if
in
that's
that
Peach's
moment.
thing. I don't know if she wants all that.
No,
Those
she
eyes
does-
on her, paparazzi.
No, she's pretty.
Yeah.
She's pretty relaxed.
Yeah.
She does have a Facebook page
Mm.
with about 2,500 followers, and which is more than
It's
most
more
people.
than me, yeah.
And she doesn't say a lot. She's very, very quiet, but she is one of the most healing beings that I've ever met. And I can't imagine not adopting your next pet. I use that hashtag all the time, adopt your next pet. And she's the light of my life. She's the light of many people's lives.
It's so true. And I love G. I call him G, just so you guys know. I love how G goes around. You know, he is, as I mentioned, traveling the world, teaching to thousands and tens of thousands of people. And in those arenas, you always weave in the message of animal rescue. And I'm so grateful for that, because a lot of people that have a lot of eyes on them don't choose, or are too probably fearful to say something. They think they might offend someone. They could turn off people that follow them, or whatever it may be. And you never have been reluctant about that.
Yeah, I'm okay turning off people who follow me who don't believe in adoption and fostering. It's okay. You know, let them live their lives. But we know how magnificent it is. And we know that really, whether it's a cat or a lizard or a dog, we know that there's enough out there that no one ever needs to, buy them. We can always just get them, cuddle them, and they're the most enlightened beings on the planet.
They are, they really are in the way, and I think probably a lot of our viewers, and if you're feeling this part of our conversation, or any part of our conversation for that matter, let us know. We'd love to hear your comments, questions. Maybe you know David G, so definitely tune in here and engage with us. Let us know you're here. But I was going to say that maybe some of you also have, one of the reasons you love your pup so much is because, look, she didn't want me to stop petting, is because they are so mindful, they're so present, they're so peaceful in their nature. And, when I tell these stories about the different rescue dogs and some of the terrible journeys they've been through, they've been abused and harmed, and yet when they come into a space where they're cared for, they're loved, they just move right into that present moment again. And it's like, it's okay that I only have 3 legs or 1 eye or whatever it may be. They just carry on with life and are joyful.
Yeah, and you're doing such beautiful work. Sama Dog Wellbeing is just an amazing oasis of healing for dogs.
Thank you.
I feel this amazing, dog little blanket going on.
We are definitely a snuggly family.
We know
there's one knocking at the door right now, so I'm going to just get him real quick, because he really wants to come in here and join us. I can hear him.
Peaches, come back.
Okay, we'll come back.
So, welcome to I Love Rescue Dogs. And what I thought we could do is just talk about stress a little bit and how animals also can get stressed out, and animals can help us from being stressed out. And my first guest is the amazing Amanda Ree. Hello. Hi.
Hello. Fancy being here. Who's this lovely little blonde? Benny had to make his way in,
Hi, Benny.
Hey, Ben, you can come over here after a little bit.
Yeah. So I think that
I think that's great.
What people need to realize is that energy is real. Einstein even said, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be changed from one vibration to another. And so we can sense the energy of people. We can sense the energy of animals. Animals can definitely sense our energy. Graham is curled up here, totally chilled out. He just opened his eyes. But
I was telling G that, and maybe some of our viewers that watch it regularly, Graham is a little more fidgety normally, right? He's trying to get in my chair, and he's kind of pacing around, and it's a little hard for him to settle down. Once our speed starts going, he can kind of pick up on it. But with David G here, he's been chilling out in this bed the entire time since G walked in the door. So they do pick up on energy. They certainly pick up on their human companion's energy. Yeah,
absolutely. Somebody wants me to rub their nose.
If your dog is having an issue, look at yourself, right? Look in the mirror.
Yeah, we can tell when we're a little stressed out, when we're a little freaked out, or rushing, or feeling overwhelmed. It's going to translate into everything around us. It's going to translate into our thoughts, our words, our actions, and whatever animals are around us as well. They're going to take those vibrations, and we have to realize that in any moment, we entrain or are entrained. We become the vibration, or whatever's out there, gravitates to our vibration. So if we're angry or irritated, then we're going to send that message out, and people will get a little edgy and itchy. And our dogs are going to do the same thing, and the opposite. If we can meditate, if we can breathe, That's one of the things. Peaches taught me two amazing things just in the first couple of days that we were together. One, she loves deep breathing. And so when she's sniffing around, I hear her exhaling. I hear her going, because that next inhale is going to be a lot deeper. So we should learn that as well. So we can always just exhale a little bit. And she loves to sigh when she is just like moving around. And we don't sigh enough. We don't like release stress or energy. Yeah. So Peaches has taught me to go, and that feels great. That's just a total stress release. So, I mean, she's taught me amazing things. But I even have a hashtag, Peaches Teaches, because, and maybe that'll be my next book, because Peaches teaches in every moment. Her tagline is, resist nothing, and you will receive unconditional love. And so if we could stop resisting, the love of the universe coming into us, we probably would get a little more of it.
Yeah. And Rashawn, one of the viewers says...
Hi, Rashawn. Good to see you, connect with you. Thanks for coming to our event over the weekend. It was great.
Our pets also have the wonderful capacity to adapt to our human behavior and make us feel better, creating the space to be present with them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
They sure do.
Absolutely. And that's, Peaches is fully present. She's not wondering what's going to happen, what's for dinner even, what's happening next week, what if or what if not. She's here. She's in the zone, and she reminds me in every single moment. And there's a difference between her sleeping and her meditating. We wake up and meditate every morning together, and it puts me even in a deeper space. So I would recommend, if you meditate out there, meditate with your pet. And maybe it may be challenging the first couple of times. Let them walk around. It's just like us having thoughts. They're walking around to let that energy. But once they see you really surrendering to that stillness and silence, they're going to do the same thing.
It's beautiful. And I just wanted to mention a couple things is if you'd like to join us actually on the Sama Dog page, so it's Sama Dog Wellbeing Facebook page, every Saturday morning, as you know, we do a 9 a.m. Pacific time guided meditation with your pets. So if you guys ever want to join us, we give you a little bit of information, and just like, more importantly, the connection of people all around the world that are in this conversation, wanting to kind of tune in that timeless, spaceless place.
And that's noon Eastern time.
It is. It is. Middle of the day, perfect time on a Saturday to take a pause with your pup. Pause with your pup. That would be a good one.
Yeah.
That should be my next book.
Okay.
And another comment that I was thinking was about the present moment in the breath is I'll do that sometimes with the dogs, and I encourage all of you to try that if you haven't yet. Some eye gazing. But so when you're connected in the eyes, maybe it's after meditation or something, but you start breathing, do your normal breathing, and then you put your hand on your dog and you breathe with them. And now you're sensing their breathing and you partner it. And just keep breathing with them. And then after a minute or so, you can start to deepen your breath, and they're usually willing to deepen their breath too. And sometimes at that point, if you take a big, deep sigh, they'll do the same thing too. And you can feel the entrainment, like you said, that connection, that soul presence.
Yeah, it's spectacular.
It is.
They are so connected to us. We're not even aware. We could be in conversation, and maybe you bump into someone while you're walking your dog, and you start talking to them. And, Peaches, at least, is just like hanging, waiting for us to stop talking. And the second that conversation ends, she pops along and then begins the journey again. So she's fully present for the conversation, even though she's not part of it. But she's getting entrained to that as well. Dogs teach us to insert that space between all of our activities and actions.
Beautiful. I just want to say hello to some of the people that are on the line. Producer Renee, of course, as always, is loyally behind the scenes. So, Renee, who's on the line with us?
Robert is on the line. Rashawn is on the line. Ellen is on the line from Dallas. So,
hey, Ellen. Ellen's in our Masters of Wisdom and Meditation teacher training.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Exciting.
So thanks for being on here, guys. Please share it out there also. Just help us to get the word out even wider. I think anybody watching this that's interested in it and has stuck around this long knows that this is information, this is inspiration that the world needs. I mean, we need every little slice of goodness that we can. And these furry little beings, which there are so many of on this planet, there's so many of them to love and to give us healing and to give us wholeness. And so, hey, if you believe in that message too, please help us to share it.
And they take us out of a lot of our conditioned behaviors. You know, when you cuddle up with a sweet little 9-pound, she's a cross between like an owl, a barn owl, and a lamb. How could then you ever eat, you know, something that's a barn owl or a lamb? So it helps you build compassion when you just see that around, and, you know, not to get preachy or righteous about anything, but they teach compassion. They teach us that they're so innocent and they're so tender, and they're so willing to let us move them, direct them. You know, you can cross Peach's legs and uncross them and pick up her ears and hold her on her back and do whatever, and she's trusting. And we could use a little more trust in our lives, and I think we can learn that from our four-legged beings who are just so trusting of us. At least they want to be trusting.
Yeah, it's really interesting to watch as the foster dogs will come in here, or even the dogs that come in for rehab. Like we just had King with us for 2 weeks, and you guys saw some pictures of him, maybe if you follow along. And so we do some like in-home rehabilitation work, and he was like just depressed and withdrawn, and he wouldn't really come around. And so even a guy like him, you know, to see every day a little more trust come through, I noticed it with King that it helped me to have more trust in myself, in others, in the process, and it helped me to speed that trust up because I saw every day he deepened it. Every day he opened more to it. And human beings, like, we'd be all hung up, right? Like, no, I've been stuck in this space for years. I'm just staying here, right? I like it. It's kind of, we have our ego gets in there and starts to control things. So dogs just want to be free. They want to be loved. They want to be totally present. And so they just blow past anything that tries to stop that. And I love that. I love that determination and that resiliency in them.
And you know, it's really important that you mention the word resilience. A lot of us think like resilience means like I'm bulletproof and I'm impervious. But resilience really means that you could get back up after you've been knocked down. And that you can, you know, no matter how difficult or challenging it is, you can accept the fact that you've been knocked down or that you are down. And take that step, you know, back up, even if you're crawling back up. So they teach so many different things in every different moment. And Peach is so accepting. She's that's why I always say, you know, she resists nothing, because yes, of course, if she suddenly smells some smelly worm on the street, she wants to roll her whole body in it, and I could be pulling, and she's like pulling against me.
Smelly things are so delicious.
When she came to your house, I think she, Renee, how many times did she pee?
Well, 12 times.
12 times, 13 times. She went around and peed on every single, you know, corner where some dog has been at some point, and then tried to roll in places that she wasn't peeing. So, but she's not fighting against life. She's not fighting against the universe. She's really saying, let me figure out, how can I get the wind beneath my wings? How can I get the wind at my back, rather than how can I insist and put myself in some place? So she's just, you know, fairly magnificent, and she's the greatest gift that ever came into my life.
It is 5:25. It is actually 5:28, but we are doing the fast five at 5:25.
Fast five!
My sign, you guys know it. Whoop, whoop.
It's upside down.
It's upside down.
Okay, that's good.
The fast five at 5:25.
Oh my God.
This is the time that we ask our guests 5 fast questions to get to know them a little better. David G. or Peaches, whoever wants to take these, go ahead. Number 1, the most interesting place you've ever been.
The most interesting place I've ever been would be in a town called Bodh Gaya in the north of India, and sitting under the original peepal tree, the fig tree, that the Buddha sat under when he became enlightened.
Wow,
So
very cool.
That was pretty interesting.
What's the kind of tree? I forgot.
Well, it's called a peepal tree. They call it a Bodhi tree. But it wasn't a Bodhi. Bodhi means awakened. But it wasn't awakened until he sat under it and became awakened.
Yeah. Very cool. I remember when I was in Thailand many years back, they have like the cousin or the brother or something of that tree.
Everyone's holding on to like shreds of that tree to plant it someplace else. That was only 2,600 years ago. So that's an old tree.
Number 2, your job before you were an international meditation teacher.
Oh, well, my job was I was a mergers and acquisitions advisor in New York City,
Ooh.
and blew that world up. Went on my own little eat, pray, love journey without the eating and the love, and
I got a lot of prayers.
and then found this path.
Oh, awesome. And how long ago was that?
That was before you were born, Amanda. That was
No.
a mere. That was 17 years ago. So I've been doing this for 17
A
years.
year before I was born.
Right. Yeah, that was like this was your Sweet 16. It was just 2 years ago. I was at that party.
Okay, number 3. A favorite TV show and why? And I ask that because this man loves TV.
I'm a deep believer in television, whether that's binging on Netflix or Amazon Prime or watching at home. I can't give you one, but I could say that just saw the season premiere of Homeland. I love This Is Us. I love Blackish. I love The Blacklist. I love Law and Order Special Vicks. Love Game of Thrones. Wildly crazy about Game of Thrones. I could go on and on, but that probably rounds out, my top few right now.
That's awesome. We just started a good one. What's it called?
About the autistic child
Yeah,
and the
it's
family.
called, that was a good one.
There's a show, there's an autistic doctor called The Good Doctor. It's by the same creator as the guy who created House.
Oh,
So
really?
The Good Doctor is
Love that
on,
show.
and
really?
also right after that is the TV show Brave, about like special forces in other countries. Don't get me started though. I recommend a solid, at least 4 hours of television watching a day.
It's meditative too, right? It's another way to reduce stress. Number 4, famous person you've met or you'd like to meet.
Oh, well, I believe Amanda Ree is the most famous person I've met because she's living her purpose. She's living her dream. Who would I like to meet who I haven't met? I guess one of my favorite stories is meeting Oprah. So I was walking Oprah over in a past life to when I was the dean of Chopra Center University, and Deepak asked me to walk her over to the room that we were having our session, and halfway there I said, "Oprah, take a long, slow, deep breath in." And she breathes in deeply. I said, "Do you smell that? That's cold ocean air. We're like a mile from the ocean. And do you feel that warmth on your back? We're about a mile from the mountains, and that warm air is coming over the mountains. So all of that air and the warmth is meeting right here." And I tapped on the ground, and I said, "Oprah, this is the sweet spot of the universe." And she said, "Davidji, I am the sweet spot of the universe." So
Ain't that the truth? Oprah 2020. That's awesome. Good one. Good story. Hey, y'all know
Atypical.
Atypical. Oh, you looked it up. Thank you. Yeah, good job for me bringing up something that I can't remember, right? So yeah, Atypical was the show that is, have you seen it?
No.
Oh, it's good. It's
good.
on Netflix. It's about an autistic boy and his family and just the dynamics. It's really great. So anyway, moving on to question number 5.
It's so great that you have a human Google.
I know.
Right here.
I know. Anything
Wow,
you wonder?
There's nothing that we are.
So let us know, you guys, even though this has absolutely nothing to do with rescue dogs. There's Benny.
There it is. That's the human Google.
The human Google. He's behind the computer right now, just so you guys can see behind the scenes. What was I saying? No, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, whatever we were saying. We're moving on to our hidden talent. What is yours? And yeah, tell us about that. Your hidden talent.
Ooh. Gee.
Is it appropriate for television?
Probably, if I could figure it out. I guess my hidden talent is that I could sing really, really low and then go falsetto.
Let's hear it.
Oh,
Come on.
Now?
No reason not to.
All right, here.
Okay.
That was about it.
That was good.
Didn't really
That was
get
good.
falsetto.
Hey,
Wasn't really prepared for that one.
You were on your way. I could sense it. I can sense it. And now I see where those deep resonant ohms come from. He's an amazing ohmer. Oh, there's Benny.
Hello,
Benny
Benny.
wants to come to my lap, but it's occupado.
There's a Peaches.
Yeah, there's another lap
You want to
available
come
there.
to my lap?
There we go. I remember what I was saying now. I was saying that even though it has nothing to do with rescue dogs or meditation or stress, what TV shows do you guys like? Let us know. It's a good place to share with our community.
Hey, did you guys watch Puppy Bowl during the Super Bowl?
Oh,
It was Puppy Bowl 14.
I didn't watch it.
Oh.
We don't have TV, so I didn't watch the Super Bowl or the Puppy Bowl.
It's on
but
Animal Planet.
I watched
next
it
year.
afterwards online. Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, puppy.
Okay, that was good, G.
Ooh,
Good
that
job.
was fast five.
Fast five. Okay,
A lot of
so
pressure.
what I wanted to talk about was to address our primary topic of stress and recognizing that, of course, many of our viewers are like me, maybe like Renee. I was going to say like Peaches, but I don't think so. But like Renee and like so many of us have a lot going on in our lives. We have stress that comes up despite us really not wanting that to be in our reality, but it is. And so what are some ways, since you have literally written the books on this, what are a few ways, maybe 3 ways that we can really cope with our stress? And if any of those can involve our animals?
Yeah, well, one of the that's great. Thank you. Is this getting boring for you? So one of the things that we can do, and here's like the perfect example, if Benny will allow me, we can breathe in. Normally we can breathe into the count of something, but if we're with our pets, we could breathe in to the time it takes us to rub from the tip of their nose to the edge of their tail. So if I would just go, and let it go, and again,
This one with you guys, come on, do it.
one last time. And even Benny, who was a little fidgety a couple seconds ago, definitely like in the zone. It calms us. We know that breathing works. None of us breathe enough. Not you, Benny. Well, Peaches, you do. Not you, Amanda. Not me. Not you, Renee. And probably not you. But if we can breathe, especially with our pets, and they get that, oh, this is like a little game that we play. We breathe in, and they're part of that breath. A technique that I've taught hundreds of thousands of people around the world, I call 16 seconds. This is for humans. I don't know how you translate this to a pet, but we could figure it out at some point. And what we do with this is we close our eyes. Don't do it if you're driving, obviously, but any other time. Close your eyes and breathe in through your nose to the count of 4. And when it gets down into your belly, hold it there and watch it and witness it. And just keep watching your breath and observe it. And now watch it as you release it. Watch it move up your chest, through your throat, out through your nostrils. Hold that breath out. Keep watching it. Keep holding it out. And now breathe normally. And open your eyes. And so that was 16 seconds. And in those 16 seconds, no matter what else was going on, you were fully, if you were playing along, you were fully present. Look what it did to this one here. We know that, people have said, oh my God, you must be the dog whisperer. No, I'm just a breather. And so as long as we can breathe, we can get to that space where all of our pets really feel totally chill. Peach's eyes are closed. Well, when I said her name, she opened her eyes, but her eyes were closed, and Graham's out. I believe these dogs are actually not sleeping. They're just in a state of restful awareness. And that's all meditation is. Restful, simple, restful awareness. And so now this one's eyes are going closed. That one. Hopefully your pets that you're watching us with, they're getting closed.
Hopefully your eyes are still open and you haven't fallen asleep on the show, but hopefully we're bored like a lullaby.
Doesn't make great TV or radio, but it's a lot of fun in real life.
With meditation, G, I always think about this, is that when we're, with meditation, it brings us to, even if we're all busy in our minds, it still brings us to restful awareness. And our dogs, as we said a little while ago, they're so tuned into us that they know when we are that restful. So not only is it just like a restful space we're creating, but they love us so much and they want to give and they want to serve us so much that all they want in this world is for us to be peaceful and for us to be joyful. And when they get to experience us in that space, even if it's for a few minutes, they're just like, yes, my mom, my dad, they're good. Like, they're happy.
Yeah.
And that makes them so happy.
I think they can not just sense our peace and sensing our happiness, but they're also, really intuitive about being able to sense our pain and our sadness. And, there have been times when, I haven't been feeling well, and Peaches, she'll be fine where she is, but she'll come over, snuggle next to me, just to sort of kind of give some love or give some healing. So they are so intuitive and they're so tender that they are the geniuses of vibration. And so we could think this is like, oh, isn't that like some cooped out thing? No, it's been scientifically proven that when we're in that state of restful awareness, our immune system is boosted, adrenaline and cortisol levels are suppressed, that our growth hormone is elevated, that our blood flows more easily, that we sleep better at night, that our blood pressure goes down, that our breathing sort of, gets into a nice slow space. Dogs want that too. They want to connect to that. So they can...
Probably all they really want.
Yeah, right.
And some good food.
Yeah. And they know that, if we think that we are the space between our thoughts, so when we're totally chilled out, that space between our thoughts is just such a beautiful space that it allows, people to enter. That's us when we listen. That's us when we're open. And that gives an opening for our dogs to enter as well.
And Karen has a comment about that. I love how our pets check in to make sure we're okay. Such deep love.
They sure do, don't they? And they especially, and I'm sure you guys have had these experiences, we'd love to hear your stories about it, when you're having a moment. When you're having a crisis, there's a death in the family, you're not feeling well, you've just received bad news. Watch the way our dogs tune in with us. They watch us on the phone when we're in that conversation. And then I see mine sometimes if I start to cry, even if I start to, Peaches is a little unsure about this closeness. She's just going to stand up to show her authority over the situation. Okay, sweetie, you want to go back to your dad?
Yes, Peaches, don't worry, puppy.
Benny took over her spot. Now you got your whole mama's lap back, Ben.
And you have daddy's lap again. Hey, you guys out there, post pictures of your dogs and of your pets, because we can't raise this vibration, widely enough. We know that if we're part of the conversation of fostering, adopting our next pets, then remember the power of your ripple. You tell a friend, or if someone sees you, and suddenly it's like, hey, you fell in love again. And yes, with my new adopted pet. Hey, you got a great new job. Hey, you're looking better. Hey, you're looking younger. These are all things that our companion animals, bring to us. And I always say that, I'm Peach's companion because she is. It's all about Peaches. It's all about the Peaches. Wherever I go, the first thing people ever say to me is, "Where's Peaches?" So I consider that, really a great honor.
I was talking to one of your guests that was going to attend one of your events, and I said, do you know if Peaches is going to be there? And she said, well, I hope Peaches will be there, otherwise I'm demanding a refund. So they do love seeing that pretty little lady.
Peaches does attend all of my Carlsbad events.
Yes.
She's part of that whole healing process.
Imagine the amount of time she's meditated for.
Oh my God. She's also overseen tons of certifications. She's been on stage in front of thousands of people. She's totally relaxed.
She's one of the most wise canines out there.
Yeah. I do want to, share one thing. And, I've talked about this concept of trust. And, Peaches and I, we have such a deep connection that, this is like pure trust. She trusts that, if we could trust this much in our life, that whoever's holding us, will, of course, shelter us, take care of us, protect us. So that's why.
Never let us fall too far.
That's it.
Yep. That's beautiful. That is just beautiful. So, G, I'd love to close with, you have so many good kind of go-tos, right? So what's a good, when we're dealing with stress in our life, when we're trying to tune back into what's most important, our family, our loved ones, our furry friends, what's a go-to phrase or teaching that we can fall back on?
Well, one of my favorite phrases is Aham Brahmasmi, baby. I am the universe. But if you're not into Sanskrit, or if you don't really believe that you are the universe, I just love whispering to myself, because it's really hard sometimes when we're like forcing ourselves in a particular situation. So I will silently whisper to myself, let me slide over into the passenger seat and let the universe do the driving for a little bit. And I see myself sliding over. I see some divine hand sliding over. Often it's Peaches, and
furry little paw.
A furry little paw on the steering wheel. But that's one of the most powerful things that I can do is give it up, surrender, because that's what creates stress. It's having an expectation. It's trying to force an outcome, and sometimes we just can't control our outcomes. We can control our outlook, but we can't necessarily control the outcome. So sliding over into the passenger seat allows me to have a little more divine guidance, a little more trust that I will be delivered to exactly where I need to be, if I can just hold on a little bit longer.
It may not be exactly where you had planned on going,
right.
But it's the perfect place.
Right.
And you're going to enjoy every single one of those turns because there's faith and trust, like you just demonstrated.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, both of you, for being here. Peaches, let me give you a little shake. Yep, okay. Yep, not into it. And being such amazing guests, and for sharing so much goodness around the world, especially with our humans, because you've done a phenomenal job, and surely there's many, many more humans ahead. Hopefully some that tune in tonight to our show have found their way to davidji. And if you're looking for a teacher, if you're looking for a friend, if you're looking for someone that's so cool and funny and normal and accessible, this is your guy.
Or someone to brush your beard.
Yes, she's coiffing his beard. Okay? Is that a word, coiffing? She did that before the show. That's why the beard looks so good, as you didn't know. But this is your man. This is your teacher. And in addition to all the love that you've given to the humans, thank you for giving love to all the dogs, because they need us. All of our dogs are these beautiful teachers in our lives, and we're so grateful for them, and grateful to all of you for the love that you share out there.
Yeah, well, thank you. In closing, I would just like to thank everyone for taking the time to hang out with us. Remember that we transform the world by transforming ourselves, and our most powerful transformative act is to rescue another being who's out there. So adopt your next pet.
Peace. Enjoy, everyone. Thanks. See you next week.